12 Rules to Escape from a Death Trap Building, written by Panasit. Attention delivery driver, courier, or messenger. Sometimes our jobs take us to a place where danger is waiting. These rules will save your life. I was a process server in PG County, Maryland. I had to serve a subpoena at this very old office building in the middle of nowhere. The building had no one at the front desk and no security guard. Only 2 elevators in the middle of a dirty blank wall. Rule 1. Don't get in an elevator if you don't see anyone. What if you got stuck? No one will rush up the stairs to open the door for you. This elevator was old, the kind that slides to one side instead of opening in the middle. There was no L for lobby and only even-numbered floors, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Rule 2. Make sure you know which floor has an exit. Many buildings have ground floor, lobby, lower lobby. I've been to some buildings where there was no exit on the first floor. In this case, I assumed 2 was the lobby since it was the lowest number. That was a huge mistake. I had to serve a subpoena to an insurance agent on the 6th floor. The ride felt a bit short for going up 6 floors. The elevator opened at one end of a very narrow corridor. The air was thick. 2 people would not be able to walk shoulder to shoulder. It felt suffocating. There was no window. No noise seemed to be coming out of any of the office doors. It was so quiet I could hear the bulb buzzing. Rule 3. Pay attention to the building's layout. I'll tell you what I should have noticed later. I knocked on the door of the insurance agent's office and no one answered. Typical. The narrow corridor starting to make me feel dizzy. I hurried back to the elevator and pressed the arrow down button to get out of here. The elevator door opened. I went in and the numbers were all odd. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. There was no button for the first floor. Rule 4. Always exit the way you came in. If another way presents itself, do not take it. I thought the odd-numbered elevator would get me down to the lobby somehow, so I just pressed the lowest number there, 3. But nothing happened. The button didn't light up after the elevator's door closed. I was shocked to see that I was going up. Did someone call it up? Why did it open on my floor and no one got out? Rule 5. Do not walk into the darkness. It opened to the 13th floor. It was complete darkness. Who called it up here, I wondered. I started to get nervous. This place was all very eerie. I knew I needed to get out of this place as soon as possible. I got back into the elevator. I pressed 3 again and it lit up this time. As the elevator door was closing, I could feel something was moving in the darkness. Then I heard growling as the door closed. I started to get freaked out. The elevator went down very far. It opened up to a short, narrow hallway with just a single door. There wasn't another elevator beside me, only the one that I was in. I was surprised by this. One long hallway to one door. I walked out of the elevator to push the door, but it was locked. Rule 6. Always assume the fire exit door is locked. They're not supposed to be locked, but fire escape doors are locked all the time. Businesses are more afraid of thieves than fire. Doing this job, I got stuck at a fire exit all the time. What I didn't expect, however, was to turn around and see something that made my heart sink to my feet. There was no call button to the elevator. Rule 7. If there is no signal, go back outside first and call someone to tell them where you are. It could save your life. How was I going to get out of there, I wondered. I went to the door again. I tried to peek outside through the foggy small rectangular window in the door. I saw a cleaning lady leaning against a window. I was so happy I found someone. I was about to call out to her when I noticed her odd facial expression. Rule 8. Before approaching someone, look to see what they are doing first. The cleaning lady just stared blankly out the window. Then suddenly, she snatched a pigeon from the window and began devouring it. She chomped on the bird hard. The pigeon was almost as big as her head, but she kept chomping and chomping. She then tilted her head up and tried to let gravity help her swallow it. While the bird's wings were flapping and its legs were twitching, she took one more big chomp, which caused the bird's body to squirt blood all over her face. The blood also dripped down onto her clothes. As soon as she slightly turned my way, I quickly ducked down. To be honest, I almost crapped my pants. What is this place? I wondered. I was so scared now. I ran back to the elevator, not knowing if the pigeon-eating lady saw me or not. Since there was no button to push, I banged on the elevator hard. Surprisingly, the door opened. I think that it never left. Okay, I thought. If this is 3, then let's go up 1 floor, which is 5. I went up to 5, all the while thinking about that lady. Aside from eating a live pigeon, her demeanor did not appear human. It was as if she was something else pretending to be human. The 5th floor looked like a carbon copy of the 6th floor. I exited the elevator and headed to the stairway. I walked down only 1 floor, and it was a dead end. The stairway just stopped. I ran back up the stairs. I figured if I'm 1 floor underneath the 5th, the 4th floor, then I run up 2 floors, then I should be on the 6th floor, right? I got up and I saw the sign. 2nd floor. I was so confused and frustrated, I wanted to cry. Isn't the 2nd floor supposed to be the lobby? I thought. Rule 9. Realize when your surrounding is hostile. So far, I operated as if this building could be understood if I tried. But it was clear now that the building was designed to trap me in. The fact that none of the floors had any windows in the corridor was by design. I also just realized something. I realized what I did wrong under rule number 3. In the lobby, the elevator was in the middle. Yet when it opened up to each floor, it was always at one end of the corridor, with an extra elevator that appeared on its side. That meant that the building was divided in half. And that meant that there might be up to 4 elevators, only 2 of which led to the exit, and the other 2 led to nowhere. Rule 10. If your surrounding is designed to confuse normal people, do something abnormal. I pressed down. The elevator opened up. This was an odd-numbered one and also a decoy. I entered this one and I pressed it to go up. But then I quickly exited the elevator and then I pressed down again, hoping to summon another one. The elevator next to it opened up. This one was even. This was the first one that I rode. The lowest number was 2. I pressed it and nothing happened, which made sense in a twisted way because I was already on 2. I pressed 6 and it went down instead of up. Rule 11. Backtrack to the area where things started to go wrong the first time. The elevator door opened and I was back on the 6th floor, where the insurance agent's office was at. I remembered when I came up from the real lobby, it didn't take me long to reach this floor. I went to the stairway of this floor and I walked down. Then I saw it. The lobby. I could see it through the door, but it was locked. Rule 12. If you see a way out, break anything to get to it. They had no right to trap you in the first place. I knew the building was not going to play fair. I smashed the window. Just as I was getting one leg out of the small rectangular hole, I heard the sound of the stairwell door opening very loudly above me and heavy footsteps rushing down. Thinking that the only living things that I had met in this building were the pigeon-eating lady and the angry growling thing on the 13th floor, I did not want to find out which one was coming down, and I quickly climbed out. So that was a close call. There are some freaky office buildings out there, even in the middle of a crowded city. So if you see a building with barely any windows that has always been there, and you have no idea what's inside, well, stay safe.